What's up everyone, and welcome to another loadout video. I say another loadout video, it's been a while. I haven't been really doing many loadout videos recently, but everyone keeps asking when's the next loadout video, when are you going to show it? Okay, here it is. Here's the yearly loadout video where I take you through my favorite loadouts and show off some of the unusual taunts on the different classes as well. And guess where we're going to start? Guess where we're going to start? We're going to start with the Scout, of course. Starting off, we have this very garish looking loadout. I mean, I've taken the criticism over the years. People hate the line. People hate the fact that it's unusual stacked on top of each other. People hate the fact that I have all of my cosmetics on my face. But you know what? I just like it. Okay, I like the fact that he looks really, really weird. I mean, it's just look at his face. Honestly, it's what more could you want? If you want to look terrifying, do it. But I only use this loadout for MVM. As you can tell by the weapons, I've got my soda popper there with robots destroyed and all the bits and pieces. The milk and fan versus machine, my fan of war that I use for MVM. And this is just the loadout I use for MVM. As you can see, got canteens as well. My bonk boy, which is professional kill streak. It has stranger fire on it as well. So, you know, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I just like using it. Other loadouts that I use. This is my Halloween loadout, which, very sad face, please, because you can only use it during Halloween. I mean, I love it, It's such a cool set. The complete alien makes you look like the Xenomorph from the Alien series, but you can only use it in Halloween. But I have this loadout prepared every time there's a full moon, every time there is Halloween activated. Scream Fortress, bam, I'm there. I'm going to be an alien running around the servers. The other one here is just something that I use generally for playing more seriously in comp and stuff like that. Just more serious items, I guess. Got my scattergun, Australian Festivized scattergun there, which is up to Hail Zone. Then got my professional killstreak Lugamorph with Community Sparkle. And then I've got my Boston Basher as well, which obviously if you know about competitive in sixes, you kind of want to be building up that Uber with your medic by whacking yourself with the Boston Basher. And the cosmetics, I've got the Strange Cat Hat, the Lucky Cat Hat. I've got a strange version of that. This is one of the ones I created during my unboxing session. Then I've got my Professor Specs. New users helped, 8. You're welcome. You're welcome, whoever you are out there. No idea how that works, but I'm guessing it's just people put me down as a referral or something. And then we got the Robin Walkers. I love this. This is one of my favorite cosmetics in the game. So there we go. I hope that responds to some of the people who complain about me having all of my cosmetics on my head and face area. There we go. I've got slippers, and I wear them on a lot of different classes. But you guys want to see the taunts as well? I'll go back to number 1. See, now I'm not going to look at the all-class taunts. I'm going to save that for a different class that doesn't have very many unusual taunts. But we've got some various things here. I've got Batting 1000. Looks like a bit of a ninja when he does that. Fountain of Delight. We've got Deep Fried Desire. This one has got Silver Cyclone on it. And we also have one with Mega Strike. So I have to remove that one in order to see this one. No, I have to remove that one. I'm an idiot. There we go, Mega Strike on that one. So yeah, there is a bit of a glitch on the HUD that if you have the same taunt equipped earlier in an earlier slot, it'll only show that effect. We're going to go to the different loadout though, and we're going to show this one. It's Alienception. I make this joke every year, but I love it so much. You're an alien and the alien's coming out. But Haunting Phantasm actually looks brilliant with this as well. I guess I can show you the zoom in broom, which again is one of my favorite taunts. It's an all-class taunt, but we'll show it on Scout. It has that smoke, that kind of cloudy effect underneath, and you have the moon up in the sky, so it looks really, really cool. I think this was one of the ones I used Unusual Fire on, and I was so happy with the result, and it's absolutely brilliant. Onto Soldier, I've got a number of different loadouts for Soldier depending on what I'm doing. This is kind of like my original one. I mean, a lot of people will see this and remember my old loadout video from about 5 years ago when I was talking about my loadouts then. We've got the Hail Zone Festivized Professional Killstreak Australian Rocket Launcher. I've got my collector's gunboats. This is the only collector's item I actually made myself. Every other collector's item I've traded for, but this one I actually made by collecting all the gunboats and putting them into the chemistry set, and then of course the skill stick. And then I've got my favorite hat in the game, my Tyrant's Helm with Scorching. Obviously got a professional kill streak on it as well, because why not? And this is the only medal I really use on any of my loadouts. I don't usually use my comp medals very often. I really like this one because it was Season 9. It was my first ever Premiership win. I've won it 5 more times since then, and I've won various lands and things like that. But this one will always have really special memories for me, because it was when we were working really hard together as a team, and it's just a really nice experience going from playing in our first season in the top division and going on to win. And it's just, I don't know, this medal just means quite a lot. So I like to wear it on my soldier, because I've generally won medals on my soldier. And then my Allfather, which I wear on a number of classes, nearly 250,000 points right now. What's your highest points, guys? What's the highest amount of points you've got on a cosmetic? Because I'd love to know. I want to see if anyone's cracked 1 million, because I'm sure there must be. There must be someone. We've got some other loadouts as well. This one I kind of use for MVM. I get to use the Robin Walkers again, yay! Because you can't use the Robin Walkers with gumboots. You can't put your slippers over your metal boots, unfortunately. It does conflict, which is one of the rare cases where a weapon has a conflict with a cosmetic. Doesn't happen elsewhere. Other cosmetic got the Doctor's Adapter Topper with Roboactive. I really like the Roboactive effect. I think it's really cool. It looks kind of like Antifreeze, which is obviously the green version. Canteens, obviously, for MVM. Beggar's Bazooka. I've got robots destroyed in it, 51,000 robots destroyed. I like how I've also got medics killed that have Faluba charge, and I've just got 1. I don't think I'm ever going to drop another medic, because I just want to keep it at 1. I don't really use this in outside of MVM anymore. I've got the buff banner as well. Exactly, Hail Zone. Moving on to this one. This is kind of like a Halloween version that I use, because it's got some Halloween specific items like the soul. Makes you look like a zombie. Haunted grub grenades. Again, I'm just adding on to that zombie look. And the helmet with Ether Trail, which is a strange one as well. Really like this hat, and I really like the effect as well. It just makes it like a really good Halloween look. Then I've got my Strange Professional Killstreak Collector's Cowmangler, one of the rare cases where you can have a Stranger Fire onto a Collector's weapon, so you can get Strange Collectors. And I like to use Conch as well in pubs sometimes, so this is an interesting alternative. But if we go back to the start, we can take a look at the different taunts we've got. We've got Soldier's Requiem. This is one of my favourite ones. It has Hellish Inferno, which is where you have this red thing and all the bats coming out. It looks so cool when you do it in game. Obviously, when it's on the menu, it doesn't. It looks a little bit behind, but it looks so cool in game. We've got Fresh Brewed Victory as well. This was one of my original ones. Again, I think this was my thumbnail when I did my first loadout video 5 years ago, half a decade ago, guys. This was the thumbnail. Screaming Tiger. What other ones do we have that are? I think we've got another Fresh Brewed Victory. I can change it quickly. Oh, we've got another Soldier's Requiem as well, which is Midnight Whirlwind, which we saw that effect earlier. We've got different Fresh Brewed Victory, and this one's just Showstopper, just the fireworks in the background. But everything else on my Soldier is actually all class, which we will see later. On to Pyro. Number of different loadouts on Pyro. This one is my go-to one though. We got my Festivized Forest Fire Flamethrower. A lot of F's there. And it's minimal wear. It's also strange. Energy Orb. I love the Energy Orb effect. I think it's my favorite effect on a flamethrower. And I use that quite a lot. And then I got my shotgun. I used to use this a lot on different classes, but I don't really use it that much on my Soldier anymore, so it gets a lot of use on my Pyro. It's got Isotope, Backwards Boomstick, Field Tested, Strange. This was my first ever unusual weapon actually, and I always use the Power Jack just for that speed boost to get around. And then I've got my Wraith Wrap. This used to be my most expensive item in the game. A number more have been unboxed over the years, so it used to be one of one, and it's no longer that. There's a few more now, but I think mine's the only one with a professional kill streak, and it has a Halloween spell on it, so probably makes it slightly more rarer, maybe slightly more valuable, but as for specific price, I really don't know. Also got my Robin Walkers on again. Gotta have the slippers on, guys. Gotta have the slippers on. I've also got the Arthropods Aspect, but I don't know. I've been using it, but I'm not sure. Like, it does clip with the Wraith Wrap, and as time's gone on, I'm not really sure what other cosmetic to use as. If anyone's got any suggestions what you think would look better on the Pyro in this slot instead of the Arthropods Aspect, let me know, because I'd love to know. I'd love to try out some different things. This is my flog loadout. I know if you hate the flog, then now is the time to look away for a few seconds. I've got Strange Collector's Professional Killstreak flog. I don't know, just why not? It's a fun weapon to use sometimes, but I don't try hard with the Scorch Shot. No, I go for the Man Melter. I love the Man Melter because it is so hilariously bad. It is just useless most of the time, but I like the fact you can extinguish teammates and fire a crit flare across the map. So actually, you know, as much as people meme about it being really bad, I like the fact it adds a different game mechanic into it. So it's quite enjoyable. And then I've got my loadout here. I've got the Lazy Napping Hat. It's got 2 spells, and this was gifted to me by a friend many years ago. And it's got Amaranthine on it. I also have the Mr. Quackers. And this was actually gifted to me by Awan, who is the creator of the item. So this is a strange version gifted to me by him. He also actually made the Where's Wallaby set in the latest Smithmas case as well. So yeah, it's really nice to have this little Christmas gift back about a year ago now. And then we got the Robin Walkers as well. Of course, you're going to have the Robin Walkers. Down here, we've got a bit of more of a festive one. Sometimes I like to roll this out during Christmas time. Just add the. We already got the festive flamethrower. You can have the festive flare gun as well, which, you know, as you can see, don't really use that much. Don't play much pyro at Christmas, it seems, but it's nice to have a Christmassy loadout. We've got the festive tree, which also actually does have a Halloween spell on it, and this is just stuff from various winter collections, the Winter 2016 collection. And the final one, this is what I like to call 2011 Pyro. Now, someone surely is going to go out there and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna dig up facts, and actually, this item was released." I'm just saying, this was the go-to loadout back then. You know, in the original, when Pyro, before Jungle Inferno, before the Extinguisher nerf, before all of that, people used to run Degreaser, Flare Gun, and Extinguisher. That is just what people always used to do. And I just like to run it sometimes in pubs. It's just fine to try and play again like Pyros used to play, you know, in the past. And then we got the old school kind of loadout. We got the Rubber Glove, the Last Breath, and the Coffin Kit. Those were just so often used by Pyros. This is just kind of the old school Pyro loadout. But we can take a look at the taunts on Pyro now. Go back to the first loadout. So when it comes to Pyro-specific taunts, we've got the Pool Party. This one is Acidic Bubbles of Envy, which I really like. It goes really well with this. Obviously, it looks a little bit weird like this, but these bubbles actually go around your little paddling pool, which you can't see right now. Yeah, it looks really cool in the game, especially if you've got a green-themed loadout. We can take a look at this version. This one is the one that I actually used my Unusual Fire for, and it's got Roaring Rockets. So it has all of these kind of like fireworks in the background, which also looks really, really cool. And yeah, it just kind of like sprouts up from your little paddling pool. And then finally, we've got also the Party Trick, which is the other one. This is I think this is my first ever Unusual Taunt for Pyro, and I've had it for such a long time. Fountain of Delight. It's a really cute taunt. You can't not like it. And yeah, I still have it kicking. On to demo now. Obviously, looking a little bit green there. Blue? No. Oh, gold. Right, gold. Yes, golden Demo Man. Of course. Yeah, this is the go-to golden Demo Man. All of the different gold items. I got my Festivized Australian Grenade Launcher, Festivized Sticky Bomb Launcher, both of them Hail Zone. Sticky Bomb Launcher up to 25,000 kills. Not bad. Also got my golden frying pan. Yeah, 5 years old now, and the joke is still going. As for the loadout, though, we've got my Regulator, which has got a professional kill streak on it. It is Sunbeams. It glows very, very gold. We've got my Dangeresque 2, which are painted gold. These are my original ones that I actually got from the achievement. And this is my Bearded Bombardier, which is also specialized kill streak and painted gold. If we go on to another loadout, this is a pink Demo Man loadout, just because, why not? Because I don't really use these weapons otherwise, and I thought, let's try and make an all pink loadout. And we've got my Sweet Dreams Grenade Launcher, my Pink Elephant Sticky Bomb Launcher. Both of them have the hot effect. This one's minimal wear, and this one is factory new, and they do look pretty cool, actually. I'm going to do that so you can see that this is one of my favourite skins in the game, honestly. I think it looks so cool. And the collector's Scottish handshake, just because, I mean, red is as close to pink as I could get for this loadout. We got the Doctor's Dapper Topper there on the top, Roboactive again. Now, a second pair of Dangerous. A lot of people are saying, well, how did you get two? You can only get one. Well, a number of years ago, as you can see, I received it in 2015, so, you know, over 4 years ago now. And basically, if you had an item like this, you could gift wrap it and trade it before Valve removed that feature, so you can no longer do that. So you are now limited to one Dangerous too. I was fortunate enough to have two. We've got the Brutus Bandana again, pink. Then we go on to this loadout. This is just like a demo night loadout kind of thing. I'm not very good at Demo Night, but I love the fact that I have this weapon. So we've got Collector's Bootlegger, Collector's Titan. I like using the Titan, it's my favourite. And to be fair, I was using this loadout a lot during the Madness vs. Machines missions where you had to go into medieval mode. But this item here, I'm getting ready for this. Spectacularly lethal, unusual professional killstreak, horseless, headless, horseman's head taker. And it's probably one of like the deceptively most expensive items in my backpack, because not only is it, you know, the unusual head taker, it's a clean one, which means it's tradable. Now, the majority of these are untradable, but you can get tradable versions. It is also a strange one, which required a stranger fire, and the stranger fires for Halloween items are very rare now and very expensive. So if you have strange Halloween items, when I say things like that, I mean like the gibbous, the spine-chilling skull and stuff like, and you know, the head taker actually adds quite a lot of value to it. It's also professional kill streak. I got that professional kill streak from an unboxing, and again, it's a very, very rare version. It does have some strange parts on it, which isn't that big of a deal, but it also has a Halloween spell, Exorcism. So all of that combined actually makes this a pretty tasty weapon, and I just feel bad that I'm not good enough at Demo Night to really utilize it. So maybe that's what I should do, is put some practice with this loadout and start getting good. We've got the Universal Translator here with Nebula. This was obviously, I got this when this was Demo Man only, because I really just wanted a hat with Nebula. And then it turned into all class and the price went through the roof. So you can wear this on any class now, but I'm actually still only using it on Demo Man for the time being. We've got the Voodoo Cursed Demo Man Skull, again just making him look a little bit more gross, and the Haunted Pocket Horseman. I mean, if I'm using his axe, I might as well have him attached to my booty, right? Might as well. It only seems fair. Final loadout for this Demo Man though, this is just something I used for MVM. You know, I've got kind of a bit of a robot thing going on, galvanized gibbous with nuts and bolts. I love the fact that everyone hates the hat and hates the effect. It's just the combination of a poor man's unusual, which I think to me adds a lot of value to it. I love it. It's very unique. Then I've just got my Allfather, kind of makes him look, I don't know, a little bit wise. And then we've got the gold medal from the Canteen Crasher community MVM event that happened during 2018. I haven't quite got the top medal on Madness vs. Machines yet, because the community needs to unlock some more stuff. But yeah, I'm using the gold one just because, just to show that off. And then, yeah, I just use Iron Bomber. It doesn't really get much use. Scottish Resistance is where it's at in MVM. If you use that, you can destroy robots very, very quickly and easily. And then the Head Taker as well. You do get less HP, but if you get a couple of heads, then you're back up to normal. And if you get 4 heads, then, you know, you get more HP, more speed, and it really helps. And obviously in MVM, that is quite easy. But if you go back to number 1 here, we can take a look at some of the Demo Man taunts I've got. Obliterated, of course, the OG, the original Holy Grail, just to make him look even more gold. I love it. We've got the Bad Pipes, which is Spectral Swirl, which is a really cool effect. It's one of my favorite Halloween effects. I think it looks really, really cool as you're moving around. Then we've got Spentwell Spirits. He's going to do that. As you can see, it's got Spooky Night on it as well. Doesn't really have the effect, but you get the idea. You know the taunt. It's got the clouds again and the moon in the background. So there we go. That was Demo Man. On to Heavy now. We're halfway there, guys. Keep it up. Let's go. Let's go. On to Heavy. We've got my Tomislav. I think that's probably the best used minigun these days, although you can use the regular minigun depending on your playstyle. We got the Festive Sandwich. I don't think if I'm ever going to get this to Hale's Own. Like it just, unless you just sit in a strange farm server or you play a lot of heavy, you know, I'm never going to get there. But I like the fact it's got allied healing done and teammates extinguished. Extinguishing some, but someone's on fire, you extinguish them with a sandwich. That's TF2 logic for you. Then we got the Fist of Steel. That's my favorite melee to use just to get out of bad situations. Then of course we've got the Dragonborn helmet, and it's got the Voices from Below Halloween spell, which just gives him that deep booming voice. So it's kind of, you know, it's themed with the hat. I don't know. I think I like that. I like that. Then we've got these, you know, just to balance out the scariness. You can balance out with the Robin Walkers. I do actually have the Luchador still, which I wear sometimes. You add it onto that, and you get something burning this way. Comes the burning bat that circles around, and obviously I have to wear the Allfather. I have to wear it with the heavy. That's just obvious. I have pretty much exactly the same loadout here. But for MVM, the only things I changed are the KGB, because it's quite easy to get a little kill onto a robot, and then you get some crits, which is pretty cool. And the Brass Beast does the most damage in MVM. Sometimes I run minigun, but I do like to run the Brass Beast a lot of the time as well. Onto this one, Santa. There we go. Festive, mittens, BMOC, gift bringer. I'm Santa, basically. There we go. There's nothing more needs to be said about this loadout. You're Santa. You got to have a Santa loadout if you have the items for it. Onto here, this is just a loadout I sometimes use when I'm pubbing. Just got the cat hat and the Robin Walkers. If I want to go by without getting noticed, without any unusuals on, sometimes I rock this loadout instead. But we can take a look at the Unusual Taunts. Now the heavy, I don't actually have any heavy specific Unusual Taunts. I know. Get some sad violin music playing, because it's bad. We do have the Proletariat pose down, but I don't have an unusual version. So what we're going to do, we're going to show all the all-class ones. The heavy gets the benefit of seeing all the all-class unusuals taunts that I have. So we've got the Schadenfreude with Holy Grail, the Laugh Taunt with the shining beams coming out of your butt. Then we've got the Kazotsky Kick. I mean, it's a Russian dance, Russian class. It just makes sense. This is Spectral Swell. This was one of the unusual fights that I got and used a couple of years ago. Then, of course, I've got my Conga, which is a professional killstreak one. Again, don't ask why. I don't know. Seemed like a good idea and at the time to slap one of them on there. Fountain of Delight. You've seen the Zoom in Broom, but I think it just looks so good on the heavy. Can you imagine if Harry Potter was this beefy? And this Russian? They should do a Russian version of Harry Potter, but have the heavy play Harry Potter. Just saying. I'm giving you ideas, guys. You go and make the magic happen. We've got the Shred Alert. I made this. This has got silver cyclone. I unboxed the unusual fire and I used it. I actually used it on my genuine Shred Alert, thinking I would potentially get an unusual genuine, but that doesn't happen actually. So just a shout out there. If you're gonna use a Shred Alert unusual fire, use it on just a unique one, because if you use it on a genuine one, you kind of lose a little bit of value there. And then we also have the Skullcracker. This has got Screaming Tiger, which actually goes really well with his loadout, but obviously this is a partner taunt, and then you end up butting heads. Onto Engineer, and I'm a little bit worried about this one, but I'll tell you about that in a bit. Just basically two loadouts here. This is my I'm building a level 3 loadout, and this is the one I use for MVM. We've got the Rescue Ranger, we've got the Geiger Counter, which is obviously the reskin from the Invasion update for the Wrangler. You can have a strange version of it as well. And this is my Australian wrench. I don't have a golden wrench. Would be nice to have a golden wrench, but obviously that's not possible. So Australian will have to do it. It, of course, has Pumpkin Bombs, the Halloween spell on it, and the strange PDA. You can tell by the numbers. I've got nearly 1.5 million health dispensed to teammates and 21,000 teleports, but only 2,000 sentry kills. Because the latter two numbers there will actually go up in MVM. You can heal people in MVM with your dispenser and you can teleport them, but if you kill a robot with your sentry in MVM, it doesn't add it because it's not a human. So you can tell how much MVM I play on Engineer compared to actual playing regularly. But this is my loadout. We've got the big country with scorching frames, just one of my oldest ones, and that just came because I was doing an unusual trade with someone, and someone was like trying to convince me, and I was like, I'm not sure if this is a good deal, I'm not sure. And they're like, what if I throw in this? And it was the Scorching Flames Big Country, and I didn't have an unusual on my NG at the time, and I was like, you know what? I'll take it. Alright, fine. So this has just been the unusual that I've had on my NG for a long time. Grizzled Growth, painted green. I know people hate the line, but I just like how weird he looks, especially with the Max's head as well. Just he looks so strange. He looks so strange. Onto this loadout, and for those of you who've been around this channel for a long time will remember my 6 unusuals on one class video. I have changed it up a little bit. We still have the unusual shotgun that we saw earlier on, the backwards boomstick with isotope. I've got the kappa here. I could potentially use this, the Black Dahlia, with energy orb if I still wanted to. I still do have the weapon, so we could still have, you know, 2 unusuals there. But this is kind of like my combat NG loadout, and I use the gunslinger. Obviously it's just a lot better when you're running around and not building level 3s, and I no longer have that unusual airwolf wrench that I used to have in this loadout. As for the hats, we've got a big country again, but this one's purple energy, Brainiac hairpiece with green energy that combines into a white energy, which I think is one of the coolest things in TF2. If they ever removed it, I would be very sad, because I like the fact that you can combine 2 different unusual effects to make essentially a brand new one. And then we got the Robin Walkers as well. We're going on to the taunts now, and we've got the Rancho Relaxo. This is one of my oldest unusual taunts. It's the one with skill gotten gains, the money just flying around. We also have the Bucking Bronco. This is one I uncrated. Obviously you can't actually see the mechanics, but you get the idea of what happens. And I really like this with this loadout because it's very, very green. I have to remove that, and then I can show you this one. Another Rancho Relaxo, this time with Showstopper. So we've got the fireworks. I don't know what they're celebrating. Maybe he's looking at the fireworks. We could think of, I mean, the fireworks are behind him, so maybe he's looking at a mirror at the fireworks. I don't know. Let's not try to get into the lore of the taunts. Now, the reason I was concerned about this loadout is because the last engineered taunt I have is the dueling banjo. It's pretty cool. It's got Holy Grail. It's a pretty cool looking taunt. The issue is once you start this taunt in your menu, the banjo keeps playing indefinitely. So if I go back here, the banjo, it won't stop. There's nothing you can, well, there is something you can do. S&D restart. There we go. You can just crack that in there and it will reset your sounds. So anything that is glitched like that will disappear. Cheeky little fix for you. There, you didn't think you were going to be learning today, did you? Well, there we are. There we are. Onto my medic, and my medic has changed somewhat. I used to use a gibbous kind of a loadout in competitive, but these days I thought, you know, I'm gonna put my sunbeams unusual on. So I've got my all strange festive loadout, my crossbow, my medigun with 35. I've reached 35,000 ubers on my medigun. I've got, I don't know how much healing that is, like 11 million. That's quite a lot. And then I've got my Ubersaur as well, edging closer to Hell Zone there, getting there. But as for the cosmetics, I've got my Sunbeams Tyrolean, I've got my Allfather, and I've got the Robin Walkers again, and this is the loadout I generally use in competitive. If we go to this one though, you can say, hey, it's just exactly the same. Well, because I main medic in comp, it's a nice idea to be able to have the exact same loadouts and just switch to a different weapon. So here we go. I've got my Hell's Own Festivized Kritzkrieg, and I like the fact that when you look at them from a distance, it's kind of hard to see whether it's a medigun or a Kritzkrieg. Obviously we're looking at the models up close, but in a comp game looking at a distance it can be a little bit hard. So cheeky change to crits. You never know, you might be able to catch someone out. And finally I've got Vaccinator here, which isn't super useful but can get some use in Highlander. It is banned in 6s, but I do use it in MVM at times as well. And finally, if you want the full thing, there we go, we can slap everything together. We got the Blitzauger, worst drop in MVM. The Tyrolean is joined by my Blighted Beak, which is Scorching Flames. It's got a professional kill streak on it. And then I've got my Antlers Green Confetti, which obviously can be used with anything. So we've got the triple unusual loadout on the medic if you just want to have the entire look that way. But we can go back to the first loadout, take a look at some of the, I've got quite a few different medic taunts here. So we've got the Surgeon's Squeeze Box. This is with Jurati Shock. So this was one of the newer ones from Halloween 2019. It actually looks pretty cool. I quite like the effect. It's got a nice little cloud with the lightning. We've got the results are in. This one is with Ominous Night. So it's kind of like the Spooky Night, but the clouds are green and the moon is green. And it does actually look pretty cool because this is kind of green as well, and it just kind of goes with everything. If I cancel that, I can go on to this one. And this is again the same, but this is with 72. This is a much older effect, obviously with the disco ball in the background. We've got 2 Meet the Medics as well. First one is Showstopper. We've got some fireworks. This kind of goes well with it because Meet the Medic in game actually does have like light that comes out from the bottom. So with the fireworks it looks pretty good. We remove that. We can take a look at the next one. And this one is with Eerie Lightning. Eerie Lightning. So it's kind of like Jurati Shock that we saw earlier on the Surgeon Squeeze box, but this one's got like purple clouds, purple lightning, so it looks pretty cool indeed. Onto the Sniper, White Energy, of course. One of my favourite loadouts in the game. It's just a shame that I don't play that much Sniper. Got my Hellzone Australian Sniper Rifle. I've kind of stopped using this one now because I landed exactly on Hellzone. I thought that was pretty cool, so I started to use different sniper rifles. Collector's Razorback and the Haunted Pro Kill Streak Bat Out of Hell. For the hats themselves, got the Disco Beatdown Killer Exclusive. Obviously it's an all class, and it just adds a little bit of stuff on the top there, above the White Energy, which is made by the Master's Yellow Belt with green energy and the Villain's Veil with purple energy. This is also a strange one, but obviously combining green and purple makes white. And that's why you get this color. Go to the next loadout. This is just one I like to use when pubbing. I just really like these cosmetics, the Corona Australis, the Starduster, and the Final Frontiersman. They come from the Quarantine Collection case, and they just look really cool together. Obviously they were meant to be designed, and you know, it's just nice to have like an entire costume that kind of goes together. Been using the AWP hand a little bit more, trying to use that, and maybe get that one up to Hellzone and then move on to a different sniper rifle. But you can also use the Shooting Star, which probably goes a lot better with the loadout. Then we've got an Australian SMG there as well. This is the loadout that I use for MVM. Same cosmetics, but I just changed the weapons up. We've got the Hitman's Heatmaker, which is just the best sniper rifle to use in MVM. We've got the Cleanest Carbine, which is really good because you can shoot tanks with it, and then it says it turns grants mini crits to you, and then you can use the Collector's Bushwhacker here that I have, and that turns mini crits into crits. So you can build up a mini crit meter, turn them into mini crits, and then convert those mini crits into crits, and then do a bunch of damage. Final class, we're onto the Spy, and this is my I guess my flex loadout. We got my revolver here, Flower Power revolver, minimal wear with isotope, and it is strange. Looks pretty cool. I do like this revolver. Then I've got my Australian knife here, which is probably my most used knife. And then we've got the Dead Ringer as well, and the Sapper. All of these are like the max, like Hellzone, and Manco Select. Not quite got there with the revolver yet. I've got my Fedora with Burning Flames. And then I've got my Phantom with Scorching Flames. I used to have another Phantom with Sunbeams. Used to be a glitch where you could have two of the same item on a loadout, but that glitch was patched, so you can no longer have the triple loadout. And I used to use the Spy Crab a lot on my shoulder, but I've started using the Robin Walkers, of course, using them on so many different loadouts. Onto the second loadout here, and this is just something I use for MVM. So the Diamondback's pretty good with MVM because you get those free crits, and you can just use them to shoot the robots with. Just use the Diamond Bot Killer Knife because I got robots destroyed on it. Dead Ringer is very good in MVM, and I've just got like an all elite grade here. This is both from the Mayflower collection here. We've got the Bedouin bandana and the dead head. They just look so cool together. And then you add the Slithering Scarf from Unleash the Beast. This is obviously from Jungle Inferno. It looks really cool together, just all together. I think that's a really, really kind of cool loadout, but all of them being elite, a bit more expensive. This is my attempt at my all collector's loadout that I've been working on for a long time. I've got the two cosmetics. I just need the last cosmetic, and then we could have an all collector's loadout with the Enforcer, the Big Earner, Dead Ringer, and the Sapper. I just need one more cosmetic to finish that. I can't remember if I've got anything here. This is what I use in pubs sometimes. So I've been trying to get my Ambassador up to Hellzone. I'm at 6,400. Just because it's not as good as it used to be, but it would be nice to try and get it up to Hellzone, just for the memories. I've got my Spicicle, which I use in pubs as well, because this isn't Hellzone compared to my knife. Got my Cloak and Dagger as well, which is an interesting, different kind of playstyle. Then we got the Cat Hat, the Robin Walkers, and the strange bandana that I use, just because, I mean, it looks so weird, right? He's got a bandana covering his face, but he's wearing a nice little cute cat hat. and his little Robin slippers. We've also got the taunts for the spy specifically. We've got BioLife, Showstopper. This is one of my oldest taunts, with Showstopper in the background. I think the best one of this would be if you had skill gotten gains, because then the money would be flying around in the background too. We've got the Luxury Lounge with Bewitched. This is a really cool one. This was from the most recent Scream Fortress as well. Looks pretty cool. And he just sits there and has his whiskey. Then we've got Disco Fever. This one has Mega Strike as he dances away. I also have another one, the last one of the video, and this one has Showstopper. So another kind of old school effect. But there we go, guys. Those are all of my loadouts for 2019 updated. I hope you enjoyed the video. There's also a backpack review if you are interested in seeing all the other items that weren't showcased in the loadouts today. But thank you for watching. I hope you've all had a great year. I know I have. Looking forward to 2020 and seeing what that brings all of us. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.